good. Let me know how you guys are receiving us out there. I'm going to drop the open right now.
Welcome
Boom.
back
There we go.
to the Hank Strange Situation.
There goes the open.
Lifestyles of the
Make
locked
sure you
and loaded.
subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified. We are live. Come on, let's do jazz hands, guys. Come on. Let's see those jazz hands. All right, there we go. Someone's got to mute their thing over here. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on. This is episode 398 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from the Gainesville studios for Hank Strange. Lola, why are you showing me this thing? Why? Put that down. I know what I have to do. Lola's messing around with my whiteboard over here. Stop messing around with it. So this is episode number 398 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Tonight's episode is titled, I shouldn't say entitled, that's a bad word. Bad word. Titled GOA Letter, Trump Needs to Hear From You. And I've got special guests here. We've got Harrison from Harry's Holsters. Boom, there he goes.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yes, a sponsor of the podcast. We appreciate it. Harry's Holsters. We also have Mr. Hootie Hoo.
Hey.
He looks like he's in a dream. Like everything, he's in some kind of.
Yeah, I'm in the bedroom. That's where my office
I was gonna
is.
say you're in some kind of like model home or something like that. It looks all, all beautiful and lovely. Nothing like what my bedroom looks like. So, but yeah, very nice. We got Mr. Hootie Hoo. Harrison, I guess you've never met Hootie Hoo, right?
I do not believe we've met.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Hootie Hoo, Harrison, Hootie Hoo. People out there, what's going on with you guys? It seems like everyone, I don't know if you guys can see the chat, looks like everyone's receiving us loud and clear out there, so that's a good thing. And before we get into everything here, I just wanted to tell everyone, GOA came out with a letter to send to Trump about the suppressor situation that's going on, asking him not to try to ban suppressors. For what that's going to do, I think we should go out there and try to send those in, maybe show him that there's folks out there who care about the suppressor situation. I'm not saying that's going to solve anything, but it's always a good thing to attempt, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about that. Any opinions here? Do you guys have suppressors?
I do not.
Oh.
I have two sitting in the safe of my local store since last July when I bought them.
Oh, wow.
And I still haven't filled out the paperwork on them.
Those are your first cans?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would
nice.
probably have them back pretty soon if I'd have filled out the paperwork, but I've still got to get a trust together and do all that. I've paid for them. They're sitting in the gun store safe.
Oh, so you've done no paperwork. They're just... Okay, nice one.
Yeah.
Get the trust stuff going. Make
Yeah.
that happen. I think when they changed everything now, you have to do stuff for everyone on the trust, I guess. So
Correct, and that's been part of the issue I've been trying to work through. I've gone through one attorney who, let's just say he didn't hold up to his end of the bargain. I ended up getting a refund, and it's hard to find a trust attorney who doesn't seem like a snake oil salesman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's some online stuff that you could just do. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with the Silencer Shop trust for the time being. It's only going to be 3 cans on it, so worst case scenario, I'm out $600.
Yeah, you got to get up on that, Harrison. Come on now, come on. So if you guys out there want to send the letter, there is a link in the description here. Hold on, let me actually let me get this link so I can put it in the chat right now. Where is it? I will throw it. Let's just get this this talking point out of the way before we go into everything. So basically here, let me see. I'll pull it up. This is what it looks like. So I'll copy it. And it just talks about following a report that the killer in the Virginia Beach shooting used a firearm suppressor. President Trump has been considering banning what the media calls gun silencers. We need to warn him that if he bans suppressors, not only will he be waging war on the Second Amendment, he'll be waging war against his own political base. Please send our urgent pre-written letter to President Trump warning him not to ban firearm suppressors. So I will. I'll throw this link here in the chat for everyone who's in the chat. By the way, to all the folks out there, please don't forget to thumbs ups. Okay, we need and appreciate the thumbs ups. The other thing I wanted to say, Harry's Holsters, as I said, does sponsor us. There's a code for Harry's Holsters, Hank Strange, that gets you 10% off, right?
Yep.
Except for closeout stuff, I think.
Closeouts and hardware. It's on all normal holsters and magazine carriers.
All right, very cool, very cool. So that way, Mr. Hootie Hoo, I don't know if you have a guy that makes your Kydex holsters. So,
I was on the chat in the you seem to like older guns. I remember you talking about a Smith & Wesson one night. You were on here on the chat, like a 5906 or.
Yeah, I've got my 59 right here. That's the one I entered in the contest. Yeah,
looking gun.
Yeah. So he
That's
looks
one
like
that
a
I
young
don't
guy,
have
but
also.
he's apparently 100 years old. So.
I'm old at heart.
Yeah. What's up? There's some kind of interference on your microphone, Hootie Hoo.
On mine?
Yeah. Just a little bit on it. I don't know if you hear that, Harrison, or is that just me?
I can hear it.
You can't? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give you a chance to figure that out. So if you guys don't know who Mr. Hootie Hoo is, I don't know either. I have no idea. Go to YouTube, put in Hootie Hoo. Just put it in as it's spelled, and you should be able to see it on there.
I see lots of familiar faces in the chat there.
Yeah, I'm sure they know who you are. Lola gave me a note that I should ask you who you are for the people who don't know, which is, yeah, so Lola says, for those that don't know, Hootie Hoo, tell the folks what you do. Harrison also. So do you want, let's start with Harrison. How about that? We'll start with Harrison. I know you're messing around with the microphone over there, Hootie Hoo, so we'll start with Harrison.
I am a manufacturer of Kydex and Bolteron holsters, thermoformed gun accessories, essentially. And that's pretty much what I do. Every now and then I'll make some YouTube videos on guns, and I've got a lot on holsters, and there's a lot coming on really deep diving into holsters, but I'm a holster geek. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Okay. You do some. I like the videos you do, but I think obviously you sell holsters, but you've got good videos for those. I always recommend that people go there and check it out. Do you have videos for all the holsters that you're selling?
I do not. And another thing is, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be changing in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm bringing on a lot of new equipment. Now is the downtime in kind of the holster selling season, now through about October. So there's going to be a lot of changes. And today I got your Walther. I'm getting that dialed in.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Here. And
I'm going to get, Hank Strange is getting another holster sometime soon. Should I start getting excited or don't start getting excited?
Yeah, but we might have to see about if Walther can get you a gun without a threaded barrel, though.
Oh, man. Well, if I have the choice personally of threaded or not threaded, I always choose threaded, but that's just me.
Yeah, just the holster design for this one, it made more sense to go without the threaded barrel. I've got another design coming out sometime, hopefully this fall. It might be beginning of next year, though.
Okay.
That'll accommodate threaded barrels, comps, those sort of accessories.
Okay. All right, cool. Actually, Tyven Show right now is asking, he wants me to ask you, Harrison, if you will make a holster for a silencer muzzle brake. That way I could switch at the range.
I think, actually, Coltac has something like that. And I don't know. I mean, some of those suppressors can get up to 500 degrees or really hot. And if you can still take the can off if you're wearing the right gloves. I mean, it wouldn't be comfortable. You could still do that. And I think Coltac has something you can put on your belt. That's who I
they do. Yeah, I agree with that. Coltac has some good stuff. Let me just put this here before I let Hootie Hoo explain who he is to the folks. The Adventure Cowboy's joining us. Shout out to Clayton out there. We were just talking about him behind the scenes. He says, Hootie Hoo, don't let them razz you for liking old guns. I mean, you know the guns I'm into. Yeah, Clayton is into, he's not into old guns. He's into ancient guns. Ancient. You know,
He's
like
into
the
the
gun
fun
the
stuff.
mummies used. Huh?
He's into the fun stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm just teasing him. But, you know, so shout out to him. I haven't seen him out there in a while. Hootie Hoo, do you want to explain, do you want to answer Clayton there and then explain to the folks who you are and what you do?
Yeah, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, I can. How about you, Harrison?
I think my
I can hear you now.
what was on Fritz.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, Adventure Cowboy, he's got all the old school stuff. A lot of stuff from Cimarron and stuff like that. Stuff that's really, really cool.
Mhm.
I had a good time at their booth at the NRA show. But Hootie Hoo is a YouTube channel, Instagram, and all that. Guy stuff. Most of it ends up being gun videos. But yeah.
All right, so there you go. So make sure that you check out Hootie Hoo as well as Harry's Holsters. They both have YouTube channels. Check them out, subscribe, ring the bell so you can be notified when they put up stuff. What I like that Hootie Hoo does is he shoots the plates. I like it. I'm trying to figure out a way to steal it, but put my own twist on it so that he doesn't sue me for trademark infringement.
There have been a couple YouTube channels. I'm kidding. A couple YouTube channels have blown up from 0 subscribers to 30,000 just doing one paper plate video copying it. So
Really?
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. If only I could do that. If I could just do that, like with I'm doing a separate YouTube channel for the car stuff. I put some of the car stuff on Hank Strange. Yeah, that's really tough to get that going. Maybe I should line up a bunch of cars and see how many cars I could shoot through. You think that will be too expensive or something? Might get.
You got to figure out what caliber, like a 20 millimeter.
It's gonna have to be something big.
That sounds like something even Walter might have a hard time getting his hands on.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be big. Well, we could definitely shoot through one car, but I don't. Listen, I probably would get car doors. That might be cool. I was thinking about.
You know what you should do? You know those little battery-powered smart cars, like the Nissan Leaf or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Get a bunch of those and see how many it can go through there, and then get like real American steel V8s. And see.
Yeah. So when you guys win the lottery, someone is going to send me a check.
My daily driver, Ford Ranger, it's got about 20 bullet holes in it. I've done a couple videos shooting my pickup, the one I drive.
Okay.
Where did you shoot it though?
Yeah, in the bed?
In the bed.
Okay, see, that's... Yeah.
But another series I'll probably do is if you're inside the car door and you just shoot through the car door, how big a pistol do you have to have? I think that'd be a good video.
Yeah, okay.
It depends on what part of the car door you hit though, so...
It does, and what all... I mean, with the whole car, it depends where you shoot through the car, so there you go. Oh, Robert Caston the third, let me see, he has a... Is that the third? It looks like... Is it the third or the fourth? It looks like the third, fourth, one of those. He says Hot Wheels. That's a good idea, except here's my problem. I really, really like Hot Wheels. So I don't even take Hot Wheels out of the... Look, like I got these Hot Wheels the last time I went to SEMA show. And I don't even take those out of the boxes. So that's going to be tough. I got to try to figure that out. I was going to do phone books, man, but, you know, people don't have phone books anymore.
Can't get them.
Yeah, apparently that's disappeared. It's gone away. So, all right, so listen.
Might donate their encyclopedias.
Encyclopedias? Okay.
Dictionaries.
Yeah, like a garage sale or something. You might get some encyclopedias. So, see, I still would have that problem. I would have a tough time shooting through the encyclopedias. You know what actually would be good? Bills in Congress. You know, get the bills in Congress, print it out, and see how many congressional bills can you shoot through. You can use that one for free, Hootie Hoo.
I'll do it.
You're welcome, by the way. When you hit 1 million subscribers, at least, I just want a shout out. That's it.
So,
And Rolls Royce, maybe.
next week.
Yeah. Oh, really? Are you that close?
Not quite that close.
No, I didn't think so. It could be done. Who knows what video you have coming out? Listen, shout out to everyone out there. Like I said, please don't forget to smash the thumbs ups. We got over 100 people watching. We don't have everyone thumbs upping. If you hate us, thumbs down is fine. Whatever. I don't care. If you want shout outs and stuff like that, let me know. There's several things I want to get into with these guys. I did mention that the GOA has, they have a, like an easy letter that you guys, is basically a form you guys go there and fill out, and it'll send a letter to the president. I'm going to encourage everyone to go do that. I think this is just one of the things we should do. We should do a bunch of different things about the threats that are against suppressors. But this is one of the things that we can do. So please do that. We got to get Hootie Hoo to get up on some suppressors. I'm not really sure what's going on. How come you don't have suppressors, man? What's the deal with that?
Because I'm poor. That's about it.
Okay. All right.
Suppressors are, and it's an expensive game to get into.
Yeah.
When you start looking at $200 for each one, and then you're waiting a year or more. I think right now it's 12 to 14 months.
Yeah, it's the price of the suppressor, then the $200, then you're waiting. I don't know what this news is doing to the suppressor world right now. I don't know if that's upping sales or what's going on there.
I really don't think it's affecting it much.
No? Okay. I know the wait time came down. You're saying the wait time went up now? It came down before.
I've heard it's around 12 to 14 months. I know there's guys, my shop started getting suppressors June. There's an ATF. Like, when does your SOT expire? Is it middle of June?
Could be. It's a certain. Is it July? Something like that.
Yeah, they said they waited till that date because apparently, it's not a amortized renewal. So, if you have it for a month, you still have to pay the full fee and then renew it and pay the full fee again.
Right.
So
yeah.
Waited for that date, and put it this way, a lot of people bought suppressors the week after, and nobody still has their tax stamps back.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to check on that. Check and see what's going. It's June. Okay, Lola says it's June. All right, so there you go. But listen, Hootie Hoo, you got to get something. I say sometimes there's deals out there, and I know that we post those whenever we can. 22s are always the most affordable ones to get into, but sometimes you can get like a 223 really cheap, something like that,
The 22s are honestly probably the most fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt.
But when you attach that $200 though, like, think about it, we'd be buying 22 cans for $50.
Yeah.
But when you have a $200 tax stamp and serialized part attached to it, you might as well spend $400 or $500 and get the best thing you can.
True. CB says he says I bought mine 2 weeks before shooting. My weight estimate was 10 months. Okay, so that's gone up. The last time I really looked at it, it was like around 6 months. I know that it was a year or over a year before, and then it came back down. So that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that and see where that goes from here. Let me see. There's a couple of other things. What did I want to tell you guys? Oh, by the way, so Franklin Armory sponsors us, as you guys know, and they have a code. They have a code. Hank10 gets you 10% off Franklin Armory. I think there's Father's Day stuff coming up. That's one of the things I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know. Are you having any Father's Day sales over at Harry's Holsters?
Not this year.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, you guys can use the Hank Strange code then.
Hank Strange 10 if they want to get a Father's Day gift for themselves or a loved one.
Yeah, or me. Just get me a gift. Give me a gift card at Harry's Holsters. All right. Cool. Let's see. What should we get into? Do you guys have anything that you want to say about this whole suppressor thing? I don't know. I know you're not interested in it, Hootie Hoo, or you don't have any yet. Are you interested in what's going on with?
I have friends that have suppressors, and I always have a hoop shooting them. But
yeah, well, if you got friends that have suppressors, that's like you having them.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all you need right there, man. It's like with boats. It's better to have a friend who owns a boat than for you to have a boat.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
No,
I think I'll say this with the suppressors. I think the thing is, Trump made a statement on an interview about something he clearly knows nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is the political forces that be going to bring that conversation up at a later date, and then we have to worry about him doubling down,
Mm-hmm.
or is it's going to die off into obscurity and we're not going to hear it again?
I don't know. What do you think about that, Hootie Hoo? Do you think I think there's two things in there. Does Trump not know anything about it? Is it going to die down?
I don't have a clue.
No?
This will probably upset a lot of people in the gun world, but
Mm-hmm.
I completely do not pay attention to any politics whatsoever.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah.
I just do my thing in the hills of Tennessee, and
Mm-hmm.
happens. That's
Oh,
kind
okay.
of
Yeah. The last place you think they're going is the hills, right?
Yep.
I'll just say this. Every politician probably has about two things they know about pretty well
Mhm.
as far as policy. And when we hear them talking about guns, realize for everything else, they have the same amount of knowledge on everything else
Mhm.
they have about guns. And they're making our laws on all that. So
Yeah. That's unfortunate that they do that. So here's the thing that I think. Like, how can he... I agree with you that he cannot know, but how can he not know about suppressors when his son is really big into suppressors, right? Junior was hanging out with the people from Silencer
That's a
Co.
good question. That's a good question.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Like, before the election, Junior was hanging out with Silencer Co., making pro-Trump videos and stuff like that?
he's
remember
gone
that?
on hunts with Kevin Brittingham, the owner of Q.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If you dig more into Don Jr. and his dad, the relationship may not be as close as it appears on camera.
Okay.
There were years where he didn't even speak to his father.
Oh, maybe Don Jr. should run then. How about that?
Maybe. There were years where he didn't speak to his father, and I think it's one of those things where, like, I love my dad to death,
Mm-hmm.
and he owns guns, and he's more or less pro-Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
But for the average person, it's really not a sticking point. And if they were trying to get something done in office, they could look at it as a bargaining chip.
Yeah. But how about just making Don Jr. the gun czar or something like that, How about appointing him to the ATF instead of the knucklehead that he wants to appoint to the ATF?
Because then who's going to run his businesses?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm not so concerned about the businesses, but I do care about the gun thing. No. Yeah, I understand that. And then so the other thing is whether or not this will just disappear into the ether and the media and everyone else is going to forget about the suppressor thing and leave it alone. The thing about that I worry about is we were talking about it yesterday with Mac about there was a case that came up to the Supreme Court and they didn't take it, and the Trump administration petitioned for them not to take up that case. Obviously, my point on that, the Supreme Court does not take up a lot of cases. They don't want to get into that. They're shying away from Second Amendment stuff right now. But the Trump administration did advise them for some reason to not take it up. So there may be a little bit more going on there. So
Yeah.
So what is this? Timmy BMN says, "Hey, Hootie Hoo." I hope you're seeing all those folks out there, Hootie Hoo, that are shouting.
That's a friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah, and Mike Half Moon Mullins, Mike Half Moon Mullins says, "Mr. Hootie Hoo, I'm with you, buddy. I'm not really a fan of suppressors myself." So I don't know if you said that you're not a fan. I think you said you just
suppressors.
Yeah, you said you just don't get caught up in politics and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you could buy suppressors at Walmart, I would probably have 20 of them.
Okay.
I don't have time to go figure out what I need to do, and I pay the money and the way. I don't have the patience.
Right. Oh, okay. Now, do you vote?
Oh yeah, I vote.
Okay, but you just don't spend a lot of time looking at the politics and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your life is much more productive that way.
Well, it's definitely less stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the politicians spend a lot of time trying to get our attention, for sure. So I understand why some people kind of like, just tune them out. So let's see here. Huh?
This is the way I see it. Everything is black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And 99% of the time, I'm not going to be able to prove my point to you, and that's a waste of my time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you're talking about like having conversations with family members, friends, and all that kind of stuff about that. Yeah. Okay, understood. Um, yeah. Here's my thing. I just shout him down. That's how we do it in my family. He who shouts loudest is right. That's the general philosophy.
If somebody doesn't have a flexible mind to a degree, or at least isn't open-minded,
Mm-hmm.
I try to avoid spending time around them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's if anyone has any kind of like comments on this whole thing before we move on from it here. We'll get into some other stuff. I'm sure you guys have guns and stuff like that to show us, right? I don't know if let's see. What do you got? What do you got there, man? Let's see what Harrison
Simple Glock 48. It is hot. Ameriglow to 4 sights.
Two-tone.
And no other
Yeah.
no other modifications.
Oh, okay. Do you like that silver slide?
It doesn't bother me as much as it did, but I'd rather have something else. I'd rather see it with a slicker finish if it's going to be that silver color. I'd rather see a stainless color slide. Eventually, right now, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put a Trijicon RMR on a Duke defense mount or have this milled for an aim-point acro. I'm not sure what I want to do yet.
Okay. All right. And then I know someone's going to ask this. Do you have the holsters that you can use an RMR with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I've got one of those in my bag. I'm wearing a prototype holster I can't really show right now. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have some holsters that you can show? I know the last time you were on, we didn't get a chance to talk holsters at all. So, Chris Blake says suppressors. I would own several if they weren't A, so expensive, and B, taxed on top of that. I think honestly that's what a lot of people feel about it. Here's the thing for me with suppressors. When I first got into guns, I thought, suppressors is too much hassle. Once you do the first one, it's very addictive. I just gotta say that.
it's like tattoos, huh?
Yeah. Once you do the first one, you're like, oh, you get a 22 suppressor, put that on the 20. Everyone has 22s out there. Put that on some of your 22s. You go, oh, I think I want to shoot suppressors on everything. So let's see what you got there, Harrison.
Here is an executive single clip with a setup for appendix carry. It's got a single clip claw wedge on the back of it, and as you can see, it is cut for an RMR.
Nice.
So,
okay. All right.
Holster. And this is my my truck gun right here.
Okay, cool. So what did you put together here? A pistol, AR pistol.
Yep, this is an AR pistol. It's an Air Precision 10.5, and it's got a Streamlight, 1,000 lumen. I'm not sure what the exact model is.
Okay.
Has a cloud defense pressure switch pad.
Okay,
Sig
cool.
Romeo 5, Mega Arms rail, which is now ZebTech. I got that for a killer deal when they rebranded. M-Bus Pros on it, a law folder, so gets pretty compact if it needs to.
Okay,
And then
cool.
SB, whatever brace they're calling it.
Yeah,
now.
one of the many varieties of SB tactical brace. Yeah, looks good. All right, very nice. Do you? I'm just wondering here. Do you have a holster for that? It's a
No,
pistol.
but I
Come on.
actually kind of want to make a vehicle mount that could fit a Safariland.
Okay.
So if somebody wanted to, not saying it'd be a smart idea, they could take the Safariland fork system and put it on a thigh rig or on a belt. But
you're
I don't
not
know
getting into that.
I wouldn't endorse it. I'll just put it that way.
See, look,
But
man. I've got my here. I'll show my. Here's my AR pistol right there from the Farm Gun Works. That's what the lower is. I've got a bunch of Gun Tech parts on it. SB Tactical, the retractable brace and all that. Hair on it. Uses the Glock magazines.
that is.
And I think I need a holster for this, man. I think I need a holster for this thing.
I wonder how the problem with those that you run into is there's so many people making those pistol magwell guns.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt, like, if I were to make something for this, it'd be a standard mil-spec forged lower receiver is what I'd base everything off of. Mm-hmm. That, all those are billet, and there's so many different designs.
There are, yeah. There's a lot.
It'd be hard to get compatibility.
Yeah. And it's tough to even find them that you get last round, bolt, hold open, and all that kind of stuff. This one gets it. It's a lot of different things that you can do to get that going. So, yeah, for sure. Let's see. Okay, Hootie Hoo. Vash Matrix says, hi, Hootie Hoo, didn't know you were here. You should be in the title. I know, we didn't put Hootie Hoo in the title. We should have. We probably would have like 1,000 people watching us right now. But
I don't know about 1,000.
We're glad for the people who are watching. So shout out to Vash Matrix out there. Hootie Hoo, do you have any pistol ARs?
I've got 2 9mm.
Oh, 2. Hold on, let's see.
So, how far back do I need to stand back from the camera here?
We could.
This is
you're good there.
G with a 9mm upper. You can see that full length barrel. This is the one. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it takes PMags, has the little 9mm conversion in it. It's pretty slick.
Oh, wait. So it's a PMag that converts. That's converted to that converts.
It's called a 9 arc mag. So
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, me neither. I've never seen it. So how can we get a closer look at that mag? How does that work?
Yeah. So you can buy the magazines, obviously, or if you have a bunch of PMags, you just get the guts and put it in there.
Oh, so the follower, it just changes the follower.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty slick.
And who is that from?
CMMG.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I never did you ever hear of that, Harrison?
I have never heard of that, but CMMG makes a lot of cool little stuff for the pistol, like their Banshee system now, and isn't that available in 9mm, 10mm, and 40 and 45, like a lot of...
Yeah, but this one, I guess I should have further explained this. This upper from CMMG will mount directly onto your AR lower. So that's the cool thing about it. And using mags.
Will those mags run with any 9mm upper, or is there some special geometry in the feed ramp or something on the CMMG stuff to make that work?
I don't have a clue.
Good answer.
I honestly don't know. I can't answer either way.
Oh, okay.
It works in this one. It works in the CMMG
so that upper, all right, so that's the thing with that upper, right? That upper is a CMMG, and then you can use the CMMG, you can use a regular AR lower and the CMMG magazines, or you could just get the followers separately, you're saying, and then take those out of your magazines and put it in?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. I need to look into that, actually.
I'm pretty sure you got to have the CMMG upper as well. But
right. Huh. Okay. Yeah. No, that's interesting. We got to look that up. We got to probably look that up. What's the other pistol caliber carbine you got there?
You got to have the high point too.
Yes. So. Look at that.
Have you had any issues with the furniture on that?
On the high point or the CMMG?
Yeah. On the high point.
No.
Yeah. Which high point is that? A 9mm?
Yeah, this is the 9mm.
Okay. Go ahead. What was your question, Harrison?
I was gonna say my buddy has one of those, and believe it or not, we shot like only 100 rounds through it. Or after 50 rounds, the front sight post started shaking loose, and the gun ran. The gun would keep running, but you couldn't hit anything with the sights. You were better off just trying to hold it and.
Okay.
Keep still and
that might have was there a way to like lock in the front sights or no?
It looks like the front sights are held on by some Allen screws in the bottom.
Yeah. All the screws and the threads just started the screws started backing out of the threads.
Really?
That's all it was.
Okay.
It was funny to see though, because rarely do you see that happen on a gun before the gun stops working, at least in my experience.
Mm-hmm. No, well, I don't know what's up with that. I know we have a 10 millimeter one, and we put more than 50 rounds through it. I didn't see anything like that, not yet. But we're gonna probably take off the furniture that's on there and turn that into something different. So
Can
that's
I
what
take
we're
a guess?
Yeah, sure. Let's see if we
Full
can
pop.
Yes, maybe. Maybe so, maybe so. Have you seen any damage to that one, Hootie Hoo? How many rounds you have through it?
This High Point one I just got, maybe 2 months ago, and I probably only have like 200 rounds through it, but I haven't had any problems out of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I see you've got some 22s lying back there on your bed against your bed.
Yeah, those are not 22s. But, yeah.
This is where so if you're one of those people out there when Hootie Hoo says I don't have the money for suppressors, you know where that money is going, right? We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it today. We're gonna see where all his suppressor money goes.
There's a Barrett right there. I mean, those are pretty cheap though. And then
you got to show it to us. You can't just
well, I mean,
Okay, hold on. What's going on here? Did he freeze or is that
99.
Okay.
This is an M99. It's a single shot. But yeah, it's pretty slick. I like to shoot it.
Yeah. Look at that muzzle device right there. It's a freaking tank.
Iconic Barrett muzzle brake.
Yeah.
What optic do you have on there?
You know what? This is a $99 Pinty. The rings are Barrett rings that cost $200, but I have a $99 scope on it, and it's going about 50 rounds, no problems. It's still sighted in, so
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's apparently testing out this $99 optic on
It's a
there.
good way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
they sent me one of those. What happened was
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about, everything I do is cheap stuff. All my deer rifles have $50 Walmart scopes on them.
Mhm.
When I went to they actually make Barretts just up the street from me. When I went there and bought the rings, they said, you have to have a 30 millimeter scope. Well, the only 30 millimeter scope I had was that one that Pinty happened to have sent to me like 2 weeks prior. So I slapped it on there, and I figured I'd take it off if it breaks, and it hasn't broke. So.
No, that's good. I think it's a good thing that you're doing that, that way we could see how long that lasts. So Barrett's right up the street. Are you getting these at some kind of special pricing, some kind of Hootie Hoo pricing or something?
I actually went to their storefront and bought like 400 rounds of ammo, and the salesman said, did you buy a gun? I said, yeah, from my gun dealer. He sold it to me quite a bit cheaper than you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh.
You mean there's no like factory blims or anything they're blowing out?
Yeah.
You.
It's got to be, everyone is, there's a bunch of deals you can get on AR-15s. There has to be some deals on the Barrett, no?
Not that I've seen.
Can we get a Hootie Hoo code?
That would be awesome. I would love that. I will see if I can make that happen.
Yes. Please do, and then let us know how that goes. So what was are we not going to see the other one right now? You holding that one?
Yeah. This is my favorite, and this is I would say that I even like this setup better, but this is a Savage 110 BA Stealth.
Mm-hmm.
And
BA Stealth, and what caliber is that?
338 Lapua Magnum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this ammo actually costs more than the 50 BMG ammo.
Yeah. But so was that gun expensive or?
It's about half the price of the Barrett, if you know how much those cost. But.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What, those are a little under $2,000, right? I think for the base.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I saw Gun Prime actually has a deal on a Savage B. I don't know if it's still there. I know they had it yesterday, so I don't know if Gun Prime still has it. But they had some of those Savages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the 510 Whisperer?
No.
No, I've never shot it for sure. I think I've heard of it, but never shot it.
To blend this all together, it's a 338 Lapua case cut down to accept 50 caliber.
Wow.
And it's subsonic. So put a suppressor on it, and I'm sure that would be a very fun gun to have to mess with. A subsonic, 660 grain bullet.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. You're shooting those big bores, man. You got to get a suppressor. You got to get a big bore suppressor now.
Yeah, both of those obviously have threaded barrels, but this is not a $99 scope. This is a Nikon Black Force 1000, and it's unbelievable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you reload?
I do not. I save brass and give it to my friends who do reload, but I don't reload.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way you go. Okay, Mike Half Moon says Hootie Hoo needs a code for Kimber. So there you go.
That'd be nice too.
Yeah, just let Hootie Hoo know all the codes you want him to get. And maybe we'll get 1 or 2 codes. We'll make that happen.
I took that 50 BMG deer hunting last year and I got scratches all over it. I'm kind of disappointed in getting it scratched, but I took it hunting a lot.
Yeah.
Did you thing with it?
No, every time I took that, I didn't see any deer. I did take a deer with the 450 Bushmaster, though. That's still a big bullet.
Yeah.
Where would you be aiming if you took the 50? Would you go for the head or, because they'd probably destroy a lot of the meat.
It depends on the distance. If it was within 100 yards, I'd probably go for a headshot, but past that, I'd probably just blow the shoulder out.
Mm-hmm.
What distance have you shot it at? What's the furthest you've taken it out to?
The 50?
Yeah.
Up until last Saturday, 25 yards, only shooting it for YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
But this past Saturday, I shot it at 200 yards.
Okay.
So that $99 scope only has 9 power zoom too. So.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys know the turn screw 50s that they're like $1,200, and you like thread it in an insert to chamber and unthread it.
Serboos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The B, I think is what they call it. Yeah.
My buddy, there was one up in the gun store used, and that gun has been in there like 4 times, and it comes in every 3 months because somebody buys it.
Why?
Shoots it.
Mm-hmm.
Realizes it's really expensive to shoot, and they don't really have anywhere to shoot it, so they shoot it once at 25 yards or whatnot, and then 3 months later, it's sitting back up in there on consignment. And I talked my buddy out of buying it, thankfully.
If you're gonna get a 50, don't get that.
Yeah.
You've got some options out there, and I'm not trying to say you have to go get like a Safety Harbor bolt action 50. There's a bunch of different things, but I don't know what you're actually gonna do with So, if you want to have a 50 and shoot it, but you're not really planning on doing anything with it, maybe that's fine. But
I did a Safety Harbor, but that was when they weren't selling them, so I just went and got the Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally got the Barrett just to make YouTube videos.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Barrett at all.
Good tack right off.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to be more functional, though. That's the thing that I'm saying. I think that's a more functional gun for you. Let me go to this because Lola texted me here. Let me see if I could pop this up on the screen here. Let me see if I could do this. So she says Gun Prime has, here we go. Gun Prime has the Savage Arms Model 110 300 Winchester Magnum Stealth Bolt Action Rifle for $798, originally $1179. Has a 24-inch threaded barrel, M-LOK forend, scope rail, monolithic chassis, Fab Defense GLR 16 adjustable stock, and 5-round magazine. Here, and so I think
that's the Win Mag. The Lapua, they pretty much double the price.
Yeah. So
and
that's
everywhere.
Yeah, this is probably what I was thinking about right here. Yeah.
I'd love to have it.
The Win Mag is the long.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Win Mag's just a long action, so that's pretty standard. Whereas that 338 is its own action altogether. So.
Yeah. If anyone's interested in that, Lola will have a link or something she could send to you guys if you're interested in that one. Yeah. So that's not the one that you have. That's what you're saying.
Oh, it's the same gun, just a different caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a sweet rifle.
Right. Let's see what we got here. Billy Phoenix says Hootie Hoo shot a black butterfly 700 grainer, if memory serves me right, from one of his big bores.
That was a 4570 lever gun, a 600 grain bullets. Yeah, my shoulder still hurts and that was like 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
You say 680 grain bullets?
600 grain. 600.
I just picked one. I just picked up a 4570 less than a week ago, last Friday. So I still haven't shot or gotten ammo for it.
What kind did you get? Is it a Henry or a Marlin or?
I got the Marlin and I got a Davidson's gun because I wasn't really sure with Freedom Group being behind it how the warranty would go. So, and my shop has sent quite a few of those guns back for warranty, unfortunately. So it's a Davidson's gun, so I'm covered there. But it's the SBL or SLB, the stainless steel one.
Yeah, that's what I have is Marlin, and it beats your shoulder up.
Yeah. So what do you? So I know that I don't think they have 4570 yet. By the way, shout out to Paul at Gunstreamer. I see him there in the background. If you're not on Gunstreamer, you need to get up on there. I don't know if you're up on that yet, Harrison.
I think I am.
You put your YouTube. What about you, Hootie Hoo?
Yeah, I joined it after I saw you talking about it. Probably about a month ago, I joined.
Okay, sweet. How's that working out?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, cool. If you have any issues, let me know. I know those guys over at Gunstreamer. So, and then we've got one in here right now for everyone. I'm trying to get people to get used to Gunstreamer so that when YouTube comes and smacks us upside the head, people are ready. They're already prepared to go over there. Here's what I wanted to ask you though. So we're talking about these. Did you see the Henry side loading lever action? I think they've got like 30-30 and some other weird calibers. Did you check that out at NRA?
I saw him there, yeah.
What do you think?
I would trade my Marlin for a Henry anytime if anyone wants to swap. I've shot the Henry 4570.
Okay.
I shot the Henry 4570 all weather, and it was just the action was just smooth. Marlin's kind of clunky, and it really hurts my shoulder. But.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've got the all weather. So I also have one of those side loading Henrys. I need to do a video on. So.
Sweet.
Yeah, I need to make that happen. See, if you could just like teleport over here, man, get that video done. We could do a collabo.
I'll come down.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. What do you have? Are you? Is that a reason why, Harrison, you wouldn't get into the Henrys because it didn't have the side loading? Do you care about that, or you just like Marlin better?
That was one of it, and I'll be completely honest. It's going to sound crazy, but I liked the gun. Mostly because of Jurassic Park with Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah,
the new Jurassic Park.
Yeah, the first one. I don't know if did he have it in all of in both of those movies?
He's had it in both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's had it in both of them. And then the what is it? The Kingsman, the second Kingsman movie. Channing Tatum had one, and it's a cool looking gun. And I'm gonna actually put a Silencer Co. hybrid on the front of it. So.
Okay.
I want to get some really heavy 4570 with that subsonic rounds. That should be fun.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I didn't even know what 4570 was, but I was in a Walmart and they had clearance prices. It said 4570 and it was $300. I looked it up online, saw that was half off. So I called my wife. Do you care if I buy a half off gun? She said.
Wow, the Marlin was $300.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Marlin $18.95. They normally run about $600, $700.
That's not bad.
And they're not always the easiest to get a hold of. Like the SLB or the stainless version.
Yeah.
That's been allocated for like 18 months. Wow. It's hard for distributors to get those.
Yeah. So you got lucky. You got lucky there, man. That's good. That's good. There's a bunch of people throwing up different calibers that that they're into. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing any comments. There's lots of comments going by. Listen, all the Hootie Hoo people, thumbs up right now. All the Harry's Holsters people, thumbs up right now. Let's get the thumbs ups to like 100. We got Hootie Hoo in here. Let's make that happen. We got a bunch of people hanging out with us in here. Let's get that. Poe Izzy says 10mm cowboy rifle. You know what? I wonder if all the 10mm fans, I don't know if you're a 10mm fan or not, Harrison. I wonder if all the 10mm fans out there are really going to buy these 10mm guns that they're calling for.
I love 10mm, and I'd like to have a 10mm MP5. But
You know what? Okay, no. All kidding aside, that sounds good.
That would be cool. But I think with 10 millimeter, it's one of those things everybody wants them, but it doesn't fit into that part of the budget where people can actually make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I thought the High Point was cool, man. I mean, you can get that for like $150.
Yeah, and the High Point's been
carbine.
selling the heck out of those.
Yeah. Oh, they have. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know who else could probably sell the heck out of is Ruger. If they made their Ruger PCC in 10 millimeter at that $550 price point it's at, I think that would sell really well.
Yeah. So like for that High Point, there's only the bullpup kit that I've seen, right? Is there another kit for the High Point carbines? Do you know who? I don't know. You're probably not into putting kits on there.
That costs money, and I'm broke, man.
I understand. Listen, you got to make more moonshine.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Get the moonshine game up. Moonshine's still illegal, though, right? Is it illegal or is it legal now?
If you have a liquor license and all that, it's legal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, fine. Yeah. Were there any other kits, Harrison, other than the bullpup kits?
Not that I really don't look into that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
As I'd like to.
Yeah. I guess, you know what? A long time ago, there were more companies that make kits, but there's not as many companies now making kits for things.
I really think the market's moving outside of the AR stuff. I think it's moving, and even somewhat within the AR stuff, it's moving more towards a complete package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So BWE Firearms, Richard, that comes on the show here, he says he shot a 10mm MP5 full auto, and he wasn't impressed. But this is Richard we're talking about, so he's a little bit jaded. He shoots a lot of full auto stuff. Richard, I would have to test that 10mm full auto MP5 my own self. Thank you very much.
And again, the 10mm MP5, the only reason I'd want that is because I remember when I was younger, I used to play this Tom Clancy Rainbow Six video game. Mm-hmm. That was one of the guns.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's not so there are some of those out there then.
Very limited amount. I think they were made for some sort of US law enforcement in very limited numbers, and they had a bunch of issues, I think.
Okay.
Unknown caller.
Sorry about that.
No, that's cool. So Billy Phoenix, hold on a second. Let me see. Let me just so Billy Phoenix says this. He's asking this question. You could probably chime in on this as well, Adam. He says, Hank, did you solve the cheek piece on your 10mm High Point carbine? So do you know what he's talking about there? Like there's that cheek piece that pinches your cheek. Do you have that issue?
I don't have that issue. I mean, there's the cheek piece. What is it doing?
It's like that rubber on there is too sticky. Do you have that super sticky rubber pad thing on there?
It's plastic.
So that's just like a hard plastic?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So on the 10mm, there's this rubber cheek pad thing, and it's so rubbery that it grabs onto like the hairs on your chin and stuff like that and pulls it a little bit. So no, I haven't solved it yet, but I'm not really messing with it because we are going to put a kit on there. I'm going to do actually several things to it that we're working on. Actually, I'm waiting for Walter to come back and some other things to happen. So we're going to modify the living crap out of that, by the way. So, and then we will share it with you guys. Did you you look like you were going to pull up another gun here, man?
Well, you mentioned well, hold on first. 5 seconds. There's my Marlin 4570.
All right, nice. Let's see.
I've actually got a Styrka red dot on it right now.
Okay.
But I took that.
Hold it up so we can see it. We didn't get a good look at it.
Oh man, I said 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. We only get 5 seconds. All right, fine.
That's my Marlin. It's 1895 if you're not familiar, but
okay.
These butt pads are almost non-existent, and if you're shooting a round that has some power, which is most of them, you're gonna get hurt. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So were you going to show us something else? Is that why we were only getting 5 seconds?
You mentioned the cheek pad on that one. This is a sister to the 4570. This is a 458 SOCOM. This one right here always pulls a hair out of my beard. So, but yeah. This is another CMMG, but this one, you know what a 458 SOCOM is? It's pretty much a 4570 in an AR.
All right. Actually, I know that we did a 450 Bushmaster pistol. I think that video is going to be coming out soon because I know I finished editing it. Lola probably has it up on Patreon or something like that right now. But that was pretty bodacious, actually.
Yeah. I like the 450 Bushmaster too.
Yeah, that was my first time. That was my first time doing an AR pistol like that. You know, I've done like the 9mm one, like the one I have here, but we made a 450 Bushmaster. So if you guys will see that coming out soon. I know you've shot 450 Bushmaster stuff because I've seen it on your channel.
Yeah.
So how was the concussion on a barrel that short with that kind of round?
Serious. It's serious. And we got the barrel and the muzzle device came from Franklin Armory, and so did the upper and lower that I used for that build. But it's a pretty beefy muzzle device that they sent. But it still gave some serious kick. When you guys see it, I mean, it really kicks when you shoot it. And then also the recoil. So it's a pistol, and we use the what is that thing? We use the tail hook. We use the tail hook brace. So with the tail hook brace, if you open it up and try to hold it out in your hand like that, it doesn't cycle. So you've got to put it on your shoulder, and then it cycles properly. So, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's no joke. It's got to get some other, like a different kind of pistol brace, I think, needs to go on it, so that it's more comfortable to shoulder it. Go ahead. What's that?
I've got a tail hook. That's what I originally had on that AR pistol. Mm-hmm. They're not bad, but the new SB braces are just so good. Like, they're fairly minimal and they're softer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the tail hook works in certain situations, and then I think the SB braces work in other situations, depending on what you're going for. If you're going for some kind of comfort and you know you're going to put it in the shoulder, I would probably go with the SB brace for sure.
Are you using Walter's setup with the tail hook?
No, I wasn't using his. That's probably another thing, because I just think the way that it sends it back on his is better. I was using, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was a very long tube, and then it just had that thing, and everything was just traveling, boom, right back on that.
That
so
sounds like
change it.
It looks like a regular AR stock almost, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one I have, and I really don't care for it. But like on a setup like Walter's, or like the one when they use it to mount to like a Scorpion pistol, or make a lot of sense.
It's a completely different deal. But I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying. I think the SB braces are good in a lot of. I mean, what they're doing with these things is kind of ridiculous now, man. I mean, why they should just drop SBRs? Like, why even?
SBRs and suppressors gone.
Yeah. You know, why even do it? All right, let me share this with you guys real quick while I have, like, all of you here. I'm going to throw up something that just came in yesterday. I already have shot this gun and done a bunch of videos, but check that out. Now, I'm officially, thanks to Gun Prime, the owner of my own Kel-Tec RDB. Yes, there you go. This is the 17-inch version here. There you go. What do you guys think about that, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a bullpup guy. I know not everyone out there likes the bullpups, but
I like it.
You know, there we go.
I like that design a lot, but I don't 100% trust Kel-Tec.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes, you know, I mean, I understand that. I think there are some issues with that. This one just came in, so I don't know. I don't think they made any improvements when I originally tested them. If you put in a GI mag, and you suppress it. If you put in a GI mag unsuppressed, everything's fine, works great. If you suppress it, then those gases unseat the GI mag, so you'll have some issues there. That's the only thing that I really saw that's wrong with these. And then there's no cutie points and stuff like that. I know I put 500 rounds through it the first time I got one, that like a street model, something that was actually going out to stores. And we didn't have any issues other than what I just said. Now, maybe I've heard that some people, maybe when they go to the shows and they see Kel-Tec, they have some issues when those guns are running all day. And, you know, obviously I think there are guns out there that you can run them all day and just throw some lube on them and there's no issues, without a doubt, right? I don't know if the way that a system like this is set up, that you can just have a bunch of people going through and shooting them all day, and it's just going to work perfectly, I think somewhere in there you probably have to clean something that has a little bit more complicated system, if that makes any sense.
How much do those get? Those are right around $1,000, right?
I think on Kel-Tec says the retail is like around $1,200, but Gun Prime has these for less than $800. Yeah.
And you think about it, though, if you're buying like an AUG, a Tavor, Desert Tech, anything else out there that's bullpup, besides, is it KE Arms or who had?
KE Arms has a really good bullpup. I have one of those, but it's gonna come close to $2,000, depending on what you get. So,
I wish Kel-Tec, and I would really love it if Kel-Tec came up with like two divisions of their company, one that took their innovative designs and does what they currently do, and another one that took it and just
perfected it,
beat it up. Yeah.
I think we all wish that, Harrison.
Because let's be honest, what you have right there is more than good enough for 98% of people, maybe 99.
Mm-hmm.
But then 10-20% of people are willing to pay $2,000 for that design
to get more
with better quality components.
Yeah. When it comes to like the MDR, for example, I think that's kind of expensive. I'm not a fan right now. I don't know if they've really gotten all their problems solved. I think that the ones that are good out there, obviously the AUGs are pretty good, right? They've been out for a long time. I think the Tavors are pretty good. And then I think the Kel-Tec is a step above a bunch of other guns that are out there, even ones that are more expensive. I'm not going to say that when it comes, so the, you know, we were talking about the K&M M17, for example, has a way better trigger. I think the trigger on this one's good, but it could be improved. So yeah, it would be nice to see maybe, if it's not going to be Kel-Tec, maybe some company out there. I think M-Carbo has some stuff for that, and there are a few other companies that make parts for Kel-Tec things. Don't
they have a patent on the ejection mechanism?
They probably have a patent.
Thing.
Yeah, they probably have a patent on a bunch of stuff in this gun. Let me hold on a second. Shooting Gallery Northeast just says Kel-Tec should make the sub 2000 in 10 millimeter. Yeah, that could happen. So yeah, it's got kind of like a really cool system, right? So bullpup, everything is happening from back here. And with this, the shell casings and all that are going back and traveling and coming down from right here. So it's rearward, downward ejecting with the shell casings. So, yeah, that's something I think that's pretty unique, and they probably have some patents on that. And the other thing that happens with Kel-Tec, I don't know if you know this, but they kind of make their guns where you can only strip them down to a certain point. If you try to go beyond that, you're probably going to break the gun.
That's honestly probably pretty smart on their end.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to, you know, for people reverse engineering them and stuff like that, I think they're trying to avoid that. But it kind of makes it difficult to go, like, how far can you go making accessories for the gun, right? That's where it becomes an issue.
And that's where I wish companies like Kel-Tec would just say, all right, if you're legit or semi-legit, look at what Magpul did with the M-Lock. Mm-hmm. If Kel-Tec were to say, all right, we're going to do, you know, we're not going to make it easy for you to make a receiver, but we're going to make it easier for you to make every other part, any kind of accessory, cheek rest, hand guards, triggers, anything like that. We will provide you technical drawings, everything, just sign an NDA. I think it'd make the gun more successful.
Yeah, I don't know if they're that open. Hootie Hoo, do you have any experience with the Kel-Tec stuff?
Yeah. So
Is it good? Is it good or bad?
I represent the poor in most places I go.
He's a man of the Hootie Hoo is a man of the people.
That's absolutely true. But the two I have shot, I did a bunch of videos, thanks to my buddy Tim, who's in the chat.
Oh, cool! Shout out to who is it?
But
Okay.
CMR, so the 22 Magnum pistol and the 22 Magnum carbine.
Okay, you tried those out?
Yeah, and they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they shoot. They work good. 22 Magnum. I'm a big 22 Magnum fan.
Yeah, me too, man. I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
The CMR and the PMR, they're a lot of fun to shoot.
Yeah.
Made by Kel-Tec.
Yeah. The PMR, I mean, that came out first. It's a great pistol. I really like it. I don't, you have the, what is it called? The rim lock? Huh?
It holds 30 rounds in a pistol.
Yeah. The only thing I would say with that is you sometimes have a rim lock issue because 22 Magnum tends to be soft. I don't know if you came across that. So I would never really load it to 33 rounds. Maybe I would do like 30 or a little bit less than that. But, I mean, still, man, if you do like 25, 28 rounds, what other 22 Magnum pistol can hold that many rounds?
None that I know of.
Yeah. And then the CMR was really awesome. So I think I've got 2 PMRs and 1 CMR. And the CMR is a pretty cool gun itself. The only thing I know, like for example, the PMR, the pistol, you're not supposed to put a suppressor on that. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It can't really handle it. It's very light. They're very light guns, super light.
Oh yeah, I think the pistol is 14 ounces.
Yeah.
I mean, it weigh anything.
Yeah. So putting a suppressor on it, I know people have done it. I've even done it, but that's technically, I think even Kel-Tec will tell you that'll easily blow it up. The CMR, you're supposed to be able to do that. So, and I've done that, and I think that, that should usually be good. Something could still go wrong there, just the nature of 22 Magnum and how a lot of this stuff works. And then they came out with a 22 pistol. Have you shot that?
I have not. Nope.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I haven't shot it.
I only shot it at SHOT Show at the media day, but that thing looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one you're supposed to be able to put a suppressor on it. So.
What are the specs on the 22 pistol?
Let me see. I would have to pull them up to tell you the exact specs.
I think that one holds 33 rounds.
Yeah, I think it's the same round count. Let me see.
Well, the 22 mag is 30 rounds.
Yeah, and I know I think they're out there already.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten my hands on.
So is it still lightweight?
Oh yeah, it's the pistol's very lightweight. Let me see.
I see the 33 and I see the CP33.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. The CP33. So here, let me see. I'll roll that in for anyone who wants to take a look at that. Actually, wrong thing. There we go.
The weight unloaded on this is almost 24 ounces.
Yeah. It's ambi. I've held it. I've shot it. It's a pretty cool gun. I don't own one yet. I've got to get my hands on one. So I think you can get. It says 66 rounds. Am I reading that right? I think so. I think they have some quad stack. It says the quad stack 33. 66 rounds of 22. Oh my gosh.
If that feeds.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
So you'll have to stack up all the paper plates and see if 66 rounds of 22 can get through them.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine that, man? And then make that full auto.
I think you're gonna need a loader because I'm not gonna sit there and load.
You've got kids, right?
Not that will do that.
Archangel says maybe Kel-Tec should make a PMR bullpup. Yeah. That I don't know if they, you know what, they come out with some stuff. I haven't seen them really put out. The last new stuff they put out was this pistol, which I think this is a really good idea. I'm looking to get my hands on. What was the price on this? Did they put the price in here? Oh, $475. Are you seeing those in any stores yet, Hootie Hoo? You probably haven't. Have you seen those out there yet?
I don't go into any gun stores except for my own FFL heavy metal guns. Woo woo! And
okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got a bunch of questions coming in here. Justin Landfeld says, "Can you discuss tungsten guide rods and if they're worth the money and effective?" Anyone have any opinions on those? The tungsten guide rods.
My buddy shoots a lot of competition. The Humble Marksman is his channel. Check him out. He's got some videos on it, and the guy is not into modding your guns excessively.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to think once you get to a certain skill level, the tungsten really does help calm the gun down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't really make those kinds of mods, so I don't know.
He's a master. He's a master class USPSA shooter in both production and carry optics. So he's a skilled shooter. I trust his opinion on that.
Oh, okay. And what was the name of that? What was that channel?
The Humble Marksman.
Humble Marksman. Okay. So yeah, I definitely recommend you go check that out if you want to get some info on that. Reverend Gunn says, "Do you guys remember the he says Colico, but I think he wants to say the Calico 100-round 22 pistol. I think they did if it's Calico, they did a 9mm also, right? I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
I haven't, but I did meet Reverend Gunn. He came into my gun store the other day.
Oh, cool.
What's up? Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Reverend Gunn. Someone said that Timmy BMN says the new Taurus 22 looks super crazy good. Yeah, I'm sure you guys all like 22s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite 22, Hootie Hoo?
Well, I only have one.
Oh, okay.
Well, if we're talking about 22 LR, I've got a Ruger 10 22.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Savage 93 22.
Okay. Oh, so you only have what is that crunching noise?
Sorry.
Oh.
Oh wait, I forgot. I had more 22s.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say, man. What are you talking about?
I'm over here representing the poors, man. I don't. But I've got
this whole thing, the pores. I know that's like a thing now. That's like a meme, the pores. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw Guns and Gear talking about that the other day.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got an M&P 22.
Oh yeah. 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 Are you talking about the pistol or the rifle?
Pistol. Yeah. Pistol.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then I've got a couple of those Heritage Rough Rider 22s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that. Yep.
Those Heritages are a lot of fun for the money, and they're on Black Friday. You can always find for $99.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy's got one, and we shoot the hell out of that thing. It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah. What's your favorite 22s that you have, Harrison? Or do you have 22s? I don't know. Probably making assumptions.
I've got a 22 LCR, revolver that I carry with me when I'm running.
Okay.
And it's really lightweight. It's like 12 ounces loaded. Mm-hmm. So I can carry that without a belt and not have to sacrifice anything. And at 3 yards, as crazy as that sounds, I can
you could tag something up, yeah. Mm-hmm.
0.3 second splits. So 3 rounds in a second, and they're all within a quarter.
Yeah.
And a gun like that, that's what I expect out of it. I can shoot somebody in the head, or I can shoot. I'm more likely to have to shoot a rabid, coyote or a skunk or something than I am a person. But it works for that. And when I've got a Ruger SR22 and a Browning Buckmark, I've got a High Standard, which is an old 9-shot. I got that from my pawpaw. That's a 9-shot revolver with like imitation stag grips.
Sweet.
That's probably my favorite just because it was my pawpaw's. But out of the modern ones, the Browning Buckmark, man, that thing is a shooter. I took my buddy's Buckmark before I got mine, and I hit a clay pigeon at 125 yards with it. Like, yeah, I kept on trying to do it after that. I got cocky, and I missed. I went through a box of ammo, but all those rounds were pretty dang close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Those Buckmarks are just tack drivers.
How old is that gun?
Which one?
The one you got from your granddad?
I think looked up the number. It was sometime in the mid 60s. I want to say 1967.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So some comments about Hootie Hoo representing the poor. Timmy BMN says you can't represent the poor without a Heritage 22. And then Brick says this guy talking about poors when he just purchased a Barrett 50. Yeah, okay. He's being sarcastic. Also, listen, everyone could choose what to spend their money on, right?
Well, I'll tell you straight up, Hank. I'm a black and white guy.
Mm-hmm.
I put that Barrett on a credit card just to make YouTube videos. That's how crazy that is.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know? Listen.
I told my wife, we're going to get rich off YouTube. I'm going to go buy a Barrett on the credit card.
Yeah, just because you have one or a couple of expensive things, that doesn't make you rich. You know, I think one of the things is that if you really want something, you can spend the money on it. I'm sure you made sacrifices by doing that. There was something else that you couldn't have. It's not like you just went there and you were like, hey, I'll take a Barrett and I'll take this and I'll take that and that and that and that.
Well, you can appreciate this too, because I know you're a car guy too.
Uh-huh.
My daily driver is a 96 Ford Ranger with 315,000 miles on it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the hell out of that.
It leaks all everywhere, but it still gets me to work every day.
Yeah. Listen, when it comes to money, this is the thing I tell people. You figure out the things you really want to spend money on. There's some things I don't spend money on. There's really some things I'm like, I don't care about that. I'm not going to spend. I only spend money on that thing if I have to, and I'll get the cheapest whatever. And then there's certain things that I spend money on. Think about it this way. If you're out at a restaurant or someplace in public and you use a bathroom, it's pretty cheap toilet paper. Now, in your house, how's the toilet paper? That depends what your relationship is with your butt. If you have a good relationship, right? If you like your butt and you want to keep it that way, maybe you get some nice toilet paper. Maybe you look around, get some deals, get something that's nice, you know? But I think that's the thing with a lot of other things. If you're into guns, and not even all guns, like there's guys who are into guns, but typically, like let's say their AR, they don't spend a lot of money on that, but they like a 1911, they'll spend money on that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I'll tell you this, I've got buddies that make anywhere from 30 grand a year to 100 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised how similar their lifestyles actually are when you just account for their cost. You know, I've got one buddy, he worked pretty much entirely through high school, and then he worked 60-hour weeks while he was going to school, and he saved up enough money, bought a cheap house for cash, has no house payment. He only makes around 30 grand a year, but he arguably has a better quality of life than my buddy who makes close to 100 and is paying $1,200 a month in rent for an apartment.
Yeah.
And has $30,000 in school loans.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're into. I think like Hootie Hoo was saying about the car thing, I mean, that's pretty much why I bought a ridiculously expensive car that I cannot afford or barely able to pay for. But I did it because I like cars. I make content, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get this car, and I'm going to make content around it and other cars and stuff like that. But it's a kind of a sacrifice thing that you do. I do it with guns as well, you know. More so when I started, and even when I started, some like these, I remember my you guys don't even want to know what I paid for my KSG, because today you can get a Keltec KSG for like $700. You know, I decided to get mine in the Fire Armageddon when I thought you'd never be able to get them, and you know, all hell was about to break loose, and I think I paid you know, over $1,500 for mine. So, yeah.
And a sneak peek for everybody in the chat that's from my channel. I see a bunch of them. Not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm planning on chopping the top off of my Ranger, and it's just going to be a coupe.
Oh, nice. Okay. You never know. That video might help you get a new car.
That's
So
the point.
Are you going to get a new daily driver after that point?
You better get one.
Well, it's summertime, so. But
Oh, yeah, okay.
my wife just got a new car 2 weeks ago, so I'm debating on keeping her hand-me-down, or just having her take me to work when it rains.
What's her?
How tall are you?
What?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
I'm just imagining you at 6'6", riding with like sticking out of that Ranger.
In a Lola Ranger.
Thunderstorms, rain coming down.
Yeah, are you gonna drop it? Are you gonna drop this Ranger or put it on bags or something?
Yeah, it's a 4-wheel drive. I'll probably just leave it like it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not putting bags and all that kind of money in it.
Yeah.
You'd have more money in the bags than you'd have in the Ranger at this point. What it's worth.
True. What? So here. Okay. Let me ask you this: are you into cars?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay. So I think I probably asked you this before. I'll ask again. What car would you get if money was no object?
So I would get one like I previously had. So I'm a Chevy truck guy, but I have 3 Ford trucks just because Fords are cheap. But my grandpa had a C10, 64, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had one. I had a 65 GMC that we bought before we had kids, and it was real fast and slammed on the ground. I mean, a 65 GMC, if you know what that looks like, it's a sweet truck.
65 GMC. I think I can imagine. I can imagine.
But,
Did it have a big grill?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Grill, but
Oh, okay.
before when we started having kids, I said let's sell the hot rod.
Mm-hmm.
But if money weren't an option, I'd get another early '60s Chevy pickup and
Mm-hmm.
work on it with my kids. And
Okay. All right. Yeah, I respect that. So you're
and
not.
that would be number one. Number two would be a Corvette. Corvette's
Okay.
in the dream somewhere too.
Oh, Corvette. Okay, yeah. You said you're a Chevy guy. Corvette C7 or C8? I know the C8's going to be like mid-engine and real sexy. Or sexier. The Corvette's sexy looking. Huh?
Depends on how much money's in the bank. But
Okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I said money was no object here, man.
I mean, okay, money no object. Honestly, I might go to the early '90s. I like that body style,
Oh, okay.
which
Yeah.
most people probably think is fuddy-duddy, but
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What about you, Harrison? Money is no object. I don't know if you're a car guy or not.
I'm not much of a car guy, but I do like trucks and SUVs. So if money's a little bit of an object, I'd probably go with a 2019 or 2020 F450 diesel,
Okay.
of course.
All right. All right.
And if money's no object, it's a
Harrison
tie,
knows how to go big, by the way. He knows how to go big.
it's a tie between the Mercedes AMG 6x6,
Mm-hmm.
which those are around 1.3 million, I think,
I
right
thought
now.
you weren't a car guy. I thought you weren't a guy. How'd you even know
I'm not a
about this?
car guy. I like
What-
SUVs and trucks.
Whatever.
Or a Land Rover Defender 110 or probably the 130 Huntsman. Or no, it's the 160
Mm-hmm.
Huntsman by Con Design. I'll have to text you or share on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
what that looks like, but those are absolutely beautiful.
Is it an old school Defender? Old school
Yes,
looking
but-
Defender? Okay.
With all the import laws, I mean, it's impossible. I mean, to get a stock Defender that's not in great shape, you're in the U.S.,
No, it's good. But
you're looking at 60, 70 grand minimum.
I think they are working on one, though. They are working on making a new Defender that we may be able to get here in America.
They are, but it doesn't. It's kind of like a Dodge Charger
Mm-hmm.
today versus
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Versus the old school ones, yeah.
Yeah, I like the old school.
Yeah. Richard Hughes says Toyota MR2 with a 600 horsepower K24 engine. Jeez. That thing will be light and fast. Liberty and Lead says 69 Barracuda. Okay, all right. See you guys. Let's see. Billy Phoenix 55 5-window Chevy. I'm getting other cars coming. Do you want to revise your thing, Hootie Hoo? You want to add some cars to your dream list?
No, I like my old busty stuff.
Kathleen Music Lover says 58 Corvette. Very nice. Listen, if I was going to go to like an old school car, I always wanted a 1972 Mustang Mach 1. Always wanted one. Just like what's in James Bond, Diamonds Are Forever.
Actually, all right, this is where I become a car guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Shelby Cobras.
Okay, yeah.
And I'd love to own the Porsche that Steve McQueen drove in the opening scene of Le Mans.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Those are some cool cars. Probably very expensive. Paula Gunstreamer says 1,000 horsepower ZR1.
They're talking about Boosted Boys in the chat. I follow those guys, Boosted Boys.
Oh, okay.
They used to represent the poorest, building cars in the garage. Now they're rich off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's like the lottery, though. Everybody doesn't get rich off of YouTube. I can testify to that one.
Yeah,
it's not as easy. It's not as easy as it sounds. I don't know what's the name of the guys. There's some guys out there that are like getting old or wrecked or salvaged Lamborghinis and stuff like that and rebuilding them on YouTube. I can't remember those guys' names.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of it either.
Yeah, I thought they were in like Tennessee or North Carolina, someplace like that.
I thought about just as many car people as I do gun people.
Yeah. Paula Gunstreamer says 67 Shelby Cobra. Okay. Yeah, we can keep it coming here. Lots of badass rides out there. There's so much cars. Let's see. Special K 67 Mustang Fastback and McLaren P1. Okay, got it. Applebite says 69 Charger or 70 GTX. Jafari Land says get a Datsun.
And if you're going old school, you have to get a manual.
Yeah. If I was gonna go old school Japanese, I would want like a 90, maybe a 96 Toyota Supra.
So,
How can you go Japanese? I just don't get it.
What's wrong with that?
Japanese, I'm cool with the Japanese.
Yeah.
A friend of mine has an NSX and brings it to work all the time.
The old school one?
Yeah.
Love those, man. The old school NSX. Yeah, that's cool.
I want American muscle or European mix.
I like all cars. Huh? Listen, if the Japanese they did make guns and they're not really that good, but but I think the Japanese guns are expensive, right? Yeah.
I think Japanese are making the Howas. They make most of the stuff for Browning now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Winchester stuff. That's all made in Japan.
What is what's that? Is the World War II Japanese gun the Nambu or something like that? What is that? Someone here knows what I'm talking about. I thought those things were really rare and expensive to get your hands on. Obviously, the Japanese are out of the gun making business. I don't think they're 100% out, but they're out. Okay, what about dream guns? What about dream guns, guys? Money is no object. Let's start with Hootie Hoo. Money is no object, Hootie Hoo. Buy whatever you want to. You got that YouTube, the specialized YouTube credit card, platinum or black. You could put whatever kind of money you want on there. What would you get?
So, really, I have a lot of what you could call dream guns, but I would say I would get a Beretta 92 FS, which only costs like $600.
Okay.
I really like those.
Uh-huh.
And I would get an AR pistol in every caliber, 5-inch barrel, every caliber.
Okay.
That's probably what I would go.
You're not
for.
gonna get any machine guns,
Yeah,
No.
Then I gotta buy the ammo for it.
Oh, okay. All right. So basically, your dream, you don't need to blow up on YouTube to get the guns you're trying to get.
Yeah. I might get that 92 for Father's Day. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Hint. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, I don't think that Hootie Hoo has good options here. We're gonna have to help him out, please.
That's not very exciting.
Yeah, people help Hootie Hoo out. Put some good options for him when he blows up on YouTube and money's no object for the guns he's gonna get. Please help him, Harrison. What about
When
you?
I was like maybe 12 years old, Steve McQueen's guns went up for auction.
Mm-hmm.
And they went up for a price that surprisingly was pretty much blue book on the guns, didn't really take his name into account. Yep. To this day, I regret not hassling the hell out of my dad to let me cash in everything I had.
Wow.
Like sell my piggy bank, sell everything to try to buy one of those guns. Because I think one of the guns went for like $2,200.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's affordable. So I'd love to own just one of Steve McQueen's personal collection guns. John Wayne, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin. I think it'd be really cool to have a gun from each of those guys.
Okay.
In that era. That not really a specific gun. You can't narrow it down. You can't.
Yeah. So Billy Phoenix says, yes, there was a Nambu and a baby Nambu. So those are the Japanese guns. There's a ton of guns coming up here. Reverend Gun says the gun that killed Lincoln. Very tiny little Derringer. I saw a reproduction of it when I was in Hollywood at the Independent Studio Services. Actually a pretty cool looking gun. Let me see. There's a bunch. 416 Barrett, Dream Rifle, 45 Luger, 905 Gatling gun. Gatling gun on my list. Hootie hoo. You could steal it if you want to, but you know you got to share the Gatling gun with me. Huh? Yeah. Gatling gun, minigun. I got to get a minigun. You know?
I just thought of something. Let me go back and add to real quick.
Oh, okay. Yes, please do.
So somebody in the chat mentioned the 58. Did I shoot to death? 58.
Yeah. Hold on. There was a bunch of crunching coming in, probably from Harrison. Go ahead. Say that again.
I do enjoy shooting the Desert Eagle in 50 AE, even though that's kind of what's the word? Everybody does that.
Mm-hmm.
But the BFRs,
Mm-hmm.
I had a 30-30 BFR.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved it.
Okay.
I wish I had that thing. So I'd probably get another BFR. Probably a few of them. One in 500 Magnum, one in 30-30.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Magnum Search makes cool stuff.
Yeah.
I've got one I want to add to my list.
Okay. Go ahead.
Original Colt Walker.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Cool. That's the original single action, or what do we?
It's a black powder. It was the first big bore. Most of them were. It actually had. It was like the most powerful handgun in existence up until the time the 357 Magnum was invented, I think, or at least revolver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you guys. So you guys all know Jay Leno, right? You're aware of Jay Leno, and his garage that he has for cars.
Yep.
If money was not an object, I would have that car garage, and I would have a firearms manufacturer of my own to just make whatever guns I'm getting everything full auto. Okay, if I could have my dream, don't tell Lola this. I would basically put I would have 3 buildings, 3 big warehouses. I'm going to tell you the middle warehouse in a second. But on one side, I would have the garage with all the cars. On the other side, I would have the manufacturer of the gun so I could have every full auto that I wanted. And in the middle, I'm going to have Hank's Gentleman's Club. Boom. Smack in the middle. That's how I would burn up all my money.
That's almost like a better version of Jesse James.
Yeah. Maybe nicer. Jesse James is not so nice. He's not so nice.
I've never met him.
Yeah. Good for you. My advice to you is just watch him from afar. You'll be better off. If you see him somewhere, just look at him from a distance. Don't approach.
He sent me a DM on Instagram one time.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. What did he say?
Ammo Inc. has the Jesse James branded ammo. And I did a video with the Jesse James ammo, and he just sent me something short, like, cool, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. All right. That's cool. So Richard Hughes says, Hank, you have a firearms manufacturer of your own, Walther. No, Walther works for himself, and sometimes with me. Yes, if I had the money, Walther would have to work for me. I would be the boss of Walther. You know, he would just have to be there making my guns. Because I'm making everything full auto. You name it. I'll have frickin' muskets that are full auto. I would figure out.
I feel like Walter would enjoy that.
It can be done. You can make a musket full auto, but it's going to be a little complicated.
It'd get dirty real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, Kiaski says middle garage is women. That's not technically what I'm saying, because Lola might be listening. I said gentlemen's club. Just
call it a cigar and bourbon.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, cigar and bourbon lounge. Good one. Thanks, Harrison. There will just happen to be some very lovely ladies working there, giving people their cigars and their bourbon. That's all. I don't, what can I say? The dudes. I promise you, there will be dudes working in the other two things. If I had my way, I would have the ladies working on everything. I would have lady gunsmiths, ladies working on my cars. That's it. I don't need to see the dudes too often. You guys can come visit me, but they'll give you a special timer and they're like, this is all the time you get. When this buzzer goes off, you got to go. Yeah. I know that sounds cold, guys, but that's just how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it like who was it wasn't it what's the name of the guy from Libya that he had his bodyguards were all
Gaddafi.
Yeah, Gaddafi. Did you know that, Hootie Hoo? His inner circle, Gaddafi, his inner circle bodyguards were all women.
Huh.
Yep. Yeah. So,
He's a pretty interesting guy, I think.
Yeah.
Very interesting character from what I've heard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I don't want to go out the way he went out. That's definitely not a fun thing, the way that he went out. But yeah, he did some things. Len Holt says, "Is this Fantasy Island?" Yes. See, Hootie Hoo, he's a good guy, man. He's simple and all that kind of stuff. Salt of the earth kind of guy. Me, you don't want to give me money. I burned that money a long time ago before. I burnt that money when I was in the 3rd grade.
I wish you could play like a virtual, those games where you trade stocks like in real time, but you don't have any money in it. I wish you could do that like if you won the lottery, and it'd be interesting to see Hank play, and then Hank and Lola play. To see the difference in the results there.
Lola's totally different from me, yeah. Lola will have that money. That money is going to go many generations into the future.
Doubled, tripled. Hank broke within 6 months, but a lot of cool stuff.
Before they get my check to me, I would have already spent everything. The truth of it is, so let's say, like, if in a real situation like that, if I really made any kind of money or whatever, I would have to just give Lola her half up front. And you guys probably think, oh, that's really nice. You're giving Lola 50% up front. My reasoning for that is that way she gets 50%. She can go do the right thing, invest and do all that kind of craziness with it. I get my 50%. I get to burn. And then when I burn my 50%, I could come back and burn some of Lola's 50%. See? Thinking. I'm always thinking. I'm here for you guys. If you don't know what to do, you get a bunch of money. You don't know what to do with it. Just let me know. I'll help you out.
I feel like what you should do, Hank, is you give Lola 75 to 80%.
That makes more
kind of
sense.
make it fair, and then.
Do you know how much Uncle Sam is getting in the first place? No, I can't do that.
Saying all your toys you're describing require a lot of upkeep, so you're gonna need to let her manage that portion so she can keep the income coming in to pay for all the upkeep.
Well, I didn't even talk about like the submarines that I have to have. Various helicopters that are necessary. Some tanks that have to go in there. Maybe some airships. I'd like to have one of those yachts that can become a submarine, so it can be a yacht and sail above the waves, and then it becomes a submarine, like a Bond villain. I basically would be a Bond villain with any kind of money, so it's probably a good thing for the planet, because that's what I would do. I would basically be a Bond villain. I'm definitely not living by any kind of government rules. That's over. I'm going to go get my own country somewhere, like maybe either take over someplace that already exists.
The sad part is you really can't do that because either China or the U.S. is going to side with whoever it is.
I'll just get some nukes and then they can't mess with me. That's all you need, right? Just the threat of having some nukes, they'll be like, oh, just leave him alone.
Kim Jong Hank.
Yeah, exactly. No kid, you guys think I'm kidding, right? I know you guys think that I'm just making this up. You should talk to Lola. First of all,
I'm very glad you have Lola.
yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why Lola is pretty much in charge of everything. Because first of all, since we met, not even when we got married, when we met, I told Lola that I want a warehouse. I don't want to live in a house. I don't actually like houses. I don't know about you guys, but I do not like a house. Dudes need to live in warehouses. That's what a guy like. Houses were not invented for men. Those are for the ladies. Dudes,
you want like the cool rustic. Tell me if I'm right here. Like the cool rustic warehouse with like a garage door that pulls up and you drive your car and your like kitchen and bar is right there, all exposed.
Yeah. Maybe there's a little loft somewhere, like some stairs that goes up and there's like a bedroom, but everything else can just be open floor plan, you know what I mean? I want to bring a motorcycle in there. If I'm working on a motorcycle, drag that thing in there. I don't have any clue what I'm doing. I can take it apart, put it together at my own leisure, you know. I could sit there watching TV or something or YouTube videos while I'm messing around with things, you know. I want to, like, my car, I should be able to bring in there and put it on one of those turntables and let my car turn around, you know. I want to go to sleep looking at my car spinning, you know. So I've seriously tried to buy a warehouse from the time that I met Lola, and she was like, no, I'm not living in a warehouse. So I'm kind of wearing her down, though. I'm getting her close to where she might actually agree to living in a warehouse.
Hey, plenty of space for the grandkids when they come to visit. Now your kids are getting older.
Yeah. So I don't know I don't think I'm getting any grandkids anytime soon, to be honest with you. These kids nowadays, it's not like in our days, man. The kids now, they just try to, you know, they're taking it slow. What is this? Yeah. Oh, okay, Lola, will you send it to me on my phone? Oh, okay. Yeah, Lola sent me an article here about, let me stop fantasizing about what I would do with the money. When you guys get the money, just come to me, man. You don't know what to do with it? I'll help you out. So let's see. Lola sent me something. I'll throw it up here on the screen. 1968 Ford Mustang that was parked over 40 years, sold with previous owner's remains inside. Oh, that's kind of...
What?
Yeah. Usually when you buy a used car, you get the title from the owner, but a 1968 Ford Mustang GT was recently sold with a previous owner included. His earthly remains, at least. According to an account posted to Mustang Fan Club, the rusty car had been sitting in a Florida in a Florida barn since the 70s. When its owner James passed away a few years ago, his best friend Bruce asked the family if he could buy it from them. They agreed, and he moved it with him to North Carolina. Unable to get around fixing it himself, Bruce decided to put it up for sale on Craigslist, where it was spotted by a Georgia car collector named Zach Taylor. When Taylor went to check the car out, he noticed a jar full of ash inside and asked what it was. Bruce told him it was James' cremated remains and he could have them with the car to keep them together.
Wow.
Yeah, after going back and forth for several months, Taylor purchased the car for $7,000, but later decided it was too far gone for him and put it back on Craigslist, where it was recently sold to a car restoration shop in the UK for $23,000. Wow. Yeah. I don't know if I want somebody else's remains. I don't know about that. Yeah.
If you were a car collector with if you were Jay Leno, it'd be a cool story to add.
True.
But if you're that guy, that's like your one classic car.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. I don't want it to be haunted. Right? There's a bunch of movies about haunted cars. I don't really want that. You know? What was the movie with the haunted car with a oh man, someone knows that movie. There's a movie where they kill this guy, and then he came back in his car, and he came back as the car, and he was hunting them down. Remember that from the 80s? No one. Okay, someone out there knows what we're talking about. All right, cool. All right, let's go to something practical. I don't know how we got. This is your fault, Hootie Hoo. We got sidetracked. It's because of you. So I'm blaming you for this. Yeah. Let's see some other stuff that's going on. Okay, I saw in the news Stag Arms is moving. Did you guys? I don't know if you guys are into Stag Arms, but this is on the firearms blog. Stag Arms plans exit from Connecticut. So, let's see. Today, Stag Arms announced that its board of directors has decided to relocate the company from its current facility in New Britain, Connecticut, as part of its strategic initiative to significantly improve the overall customer experience. The location of Stag's new headquarters has not been finalized, but the board has narrowed down the options to a short list of vibrant communities where there's a significant support for the firearms industry. Cool. I wonder if Florida is included in that. Go ahead.
A lot of companies are moving to Tennessee. Beretta moved to Tennessee not long ago.
Yeah, Beretta moved. Who else? Did Smith & Wesson move or no? I thought they did.
I don't know.
Okay, I thought they were either moving or planning on relocating. But they're in, where are they, in Massachusetts?
No. Well, I think it's Kimber. I think Kimber moved some more of their manufacturing. They'd already had some of it diversified, but they moved a lot of it out of New York recently.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea for companies to move. You think that Tennessee could become a hub for the firearms industry, Hootie-Hoo?
For sure.
Okay.
I think it already is.
You think it is already?
I mean, and honestly, North Carolina is as well. We've got Remington here. We've got Ruger. We've got Delta. We got a bunch of small companies and larger things. Same with Tennessee. And then Wyoming now has who is it? What's the name of that company? They make bolt action Vanguard series rifles. Bolt action.
Weatherby.
Yep. They've got Weatherby and a couple other fairly large companies. There's a lot of states that are becoming hubs for firearms manufacturing.
Okay. Yeah. I think this is something that the industry needs to do. I strongly believe in this. I think the firearms industry needs to create its own ecosystem as well. You know, they need to get behind, I don't think they need to own, but they need to at least get behind all the platforms that are out there in terms of things that are like replacements for YouTube, things that are replacements for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, those kinds of things. We should have, they should get behind banking or financing for the firearms industry. You know, keep the money circulating within the industry. And one of the ways to do that is to figure out where the hubs are generally in like a couple of states like we're talking about and start relocating there and all that kind of stuff to the states that are pro Second Amendment and get ready for what's going to eventually, you know, happen here because, you know, especially when things swing back to the Democrat side, man, there's going to be, you know, it's going to be tough times for these guys. And I think like we were talking yesterday about there's some people in the industry that had the Hillary plan, right? So back in 2016, they were thinking Hillary's going to win. They bought all these AR-15s that they couldn't sell. Lots of people are going bankrupt. That's not the way that we deal with this, you know? So I think the way to do it is create hubs, like physical things that help the gun industry, the Second Amendment community, and then do the virtual platform things as well that helps that, and banking and all that.
Now, a serious question here. How long are these states going to hold out, though? Because even like here in North Carolina, I can tell you, it's a weird state because all the local elections go Democrat but those Democrats, for the most part, are very fiscally conservative. And
are they blue dog or?
I've never really heard the term blue dog, so I can't say. They're Southern Democrats. They're pro-guns. They're more or less pro-freedom. They're a holdover from. Their families have been Democrat for generations.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think blue dog is, like pro-Second Amendment, but they're Democrats supposedly.
So that's the local election, but then at the state level, it's a little bit. It's kind of split. Like a lot of people, for their state rep, for all the local offices, they vote Democrat, but then for the state offices, they vote Republican, and federal, they vote Republican. But there are so many people moving in out of state, and I'm sure Tennessee is experiencing the same thing, at least in the urban hubs. And same with Texas, same I just don't know how long any state is going to hold out and remain. Maybe like Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
In Tennessee, all the big cities are Democrat, Memphis and Nashville, but the state's representatives are almost always Republican.
Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm guessing those big cities are leaning like a margin of 70% or more, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but you can't have those cities. It can't everywhere run. You know, these tiny, well, not tiny, but they're big cities within the state, but not a huge percentage of the population. But they're basically dictating to everyone else how things go. You know, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at areas growing like right now, this area, I think they're expecting to have another 1 million people move in the next, which is like a 20 to 30% population increase in the next 5 years.
Okay.
Or in Raleigh-Durham area, Charlotte's pretty similar to that. A lot more states are moving to essentially be what California and New York is.
So what is it in North Carolina? Is it people coming from California?
There's a lot of people come from California, a lot of people from New York, Pennsylvania.
Where they've messed everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming for lower taxes, lower cost of living, better weather, better economy, better jobs, everything. In a lot of cases, they're taking a slight pay cut or no pay cut, and their cost of living is going down. So you get a much better quality of life, but
that's not sustainable if you're still voting the same way that you were when you were in California and New York and
they don't see it that way, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know, like in Connecticut, for example, that we're talking with TUSC Arms. That's been going on for years now, that people are getting out of Connecticut. I'm not just talking about the companies. The people are getting out of there. They're tired of the taxes and all those kinds of things that are going on in Connecticut. And you're going to see some of these states really fall apart, because the wealth is moving. And the problem is, like you're saying, they're going somewhere else, and then they're changing the ecosystem of the places that they're going to. But at some point, they've got to realize, like, hey, what we're doing is ruining everything. You want everything in San Francisco. You want people working in McDonald's to make $20, $25 an hour. And then when that actually happens, it becomes unsustainable for you to stay living in San Francisco. So you move to North Carolina. You try to make the same damn thing happen. You won't be able to live there either.
And I can tell you, like right now, the office I'm sitting in, this area, 5 years ago, did not have a problem with homeless. There are a lot of homeless around here now, and it's because of the city is granting organizations and stuff funding and property through zoning. Like there's a homeless shelter that is within a restricted area of a preschool and multiple neighborhoods. That is against state law, but the city allowed it. And it's all because of these policies. And, I'm all for helping people, but at the same time, you really want a homeless shelter where these people have not been vetted. You could have child molesters, pedophiles, sex offenders, all sorts of people. There was a guy at one point one of the tenants here saw a guy shooting up heroin on the sidewalk. And this is an area before that homeless shelter was here would never happen. And it's the politics. It's people.
Some states are shipping out their homeless. I know California is doing that. New York is doing it. They're just shipping their homeless people to other parts of the country. And in a lot of cases, putting them on planes and sending them to another part of the country, thinking that, hey, when they get there, they're not coming back. And then that part of the country puts them on a plane and sends them back.
Well, and a lot of the issue there is we don't have the hospitals and stuff and the facilities to help them like we did, which we weren't helping them in the 60s or whatnot. But One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is based off real stuff. There are crazy people out there, and now they just live on our streets instead of these facilities where they were getting tortured. So we were far one way, and now we're far the other way.
Yeah. Well, do you see that in where you are in Tennessee, or where you are has like been untouched so far? Who?
So, like I say all the time, I pretty much stay out in the hills, right? So I go to work, and then I come home. But if you go to Nashville, there's homeless people everywhere. I try not to go to Nashville.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit insane. Like I forgot. I think it was a couple of years ago. They had NRA in Georgia in Atlanta. That was actually pretty terrible. I don't know if you went to that one,
No.
but I didn't know
NRA
Atlanta had that like level of problems. When was that
Atlanta's-
we were in Atlanta? I think it was last year. Huh?
Atlanta's a lot worse than Nashville.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's lots of young people just roving around out there, lots of homeless people. The folks that are working ridiculously hard to keep up with the cost of living, like paying for apartments or housing or taxes and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, what did Atlanta do to itself? And this is what we have going on in a lot of these big cities, but no one's like waking up to maybe we're doing something here, then we need to stop. We need to stop doing this.
I'll say this: I've seen more homeless people here recently, and when I was in Dallas for SHOT Show, than I saw in Vegas, or not Dallas for NRA show, than I saw in Vegas.
Okay,
like,
and Vegas has a lot of homeless people. It's a huge thing now. Okay, so you're seeing more there.
Yeah, I'm seeing more here, and I saw more when I was in Dallas than you see in Las Vegas, which you expect to see a lot in Vegas.
Yeah. CB is saying 55,000 homeless people in LA. I think LA has it the worst right now. Yeah. So if you think about that, and they're not thinking like, hey, we created this. We created this situation. Mm-hmm.
A buddy of mine at work, his desk is right next to mine. He was just in LA last week for business.
Mm-hmm.
He said there are literally streets in LA that you can no longer drive a car on because the homeless are living in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard San Francisco right now is probably about the worst, though.
Really?
Maybe not as wide as LA is, but I've just heard, like, as far as population density, San Francisco's got some real issues.
Yeah. So how far does this go before people push back the other way, or do we never get that? Do they just keep doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this kind of craziness?
As long as the media keeps preventing conversations and sensationalizes every topic, you're either 100% for something or you're 100% against it, and there's no in between. So as long as that's the case, it's just going to keep devolving.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the conversation when you, okay, so I know that there's, I don't want to necessarily get into the whole thing about abortion, but I know that there's a lot of states that are making it more difficult for people to have abortions, right? Let's say that. And Hollywood has moved out of California. They're out of LA. They're in Georgia. They're in North Carolina. They're in other states, actually producing their movies here in America. But because of that, they're like, yeah, if you're going to do this in your state, if Georgia does it, North Carolina does it, Alabama does it, we're not going to make movies there anymore. Where the hell are they going to make movies? Because they left California, they left LA because of the situation that they helped create. Now where are they going to go to? What's the plan? Are they going to Lithuania or something like that to make these movies?
I don't need movies. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're going to go wherever it's cheapest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So their rhetoric is just rhetoric in that case.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Okay, listen, I know we're at the 9 o'clock hour. We're at the 9 o'clock hour here, so I don't want to hold on to everyone for too long. We'll have these guys back on again and we'll talk about it. So I'm gonna probably start to wrap it up. Harrison, what do you want to tell the folks out there about Harry's Holsters? You sponsor the show, of course, and the code is Hank Strange, so people can get 10% off of the site. But what else do you want to tell the folks? How can they follow you, etc.?
You can find me at Harry's Holsters on YouTube and Instagram and on Facebook. Don't really have much going on Facebook, but definitely check it out. And then once the CP365 XL gets released, we'll be doing a video on that. No idea when it's going to drop. It's supposed to drop sometime in June, so we'll see if I can get my hands on one, and we'll look forward to that.
Okay, very cool. So you guys make sure you check them out there. Mr. Hootie Hoo.
So,
yes, how can the folks out there follow you, support you?
Here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the hardest working gun video maker there is out there. At least I say that of myself. 8 p.m. Central every single night. We have a new gun video. So if you're into all kinds of gun stuff, there's a new video every single night. I interact a lot with my viewers. The people that are still in the chat will tell you that. I answer every single comment. I probably spend 4 hours a day just answering comments and talking to the viewers. So I dig it. I love it. New video every night. I do a lot of videos that are simply because people want us to do them. So come hang out. We have a good time every night.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexander Velez, USMC 0811, says Hootie Hoo / Heavy Metal Guns and Ammo. So
Heavy Metal's my FFL. He's got a channel too.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So shout out to those guys. Yeah, you know, you guys, if you can, go out there, support these guys, follow them. We are actually on Instagram as Who Moved My Freedom Podcast. If you search for it, you'll find it there. And I'm pretty much Hank Strange on everything else. I want to thank the folks who joined us here today. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure who's coming on tomorrow for Friday, but you know, it should be a fun show. Let me drop the end of the show. Boom. There it goes. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you thumbs up, and then ring the bell so you can be notified whenever we put up a new podcast. We're also on iTunes and everywhere that you get audio podcasts. I think we've got like 75,000 downloads already, 400,000 views on this channel. Yeah, so it's growing. It's doing a little something. You know, we're making it work. Any last words from you guys? Hootie Hoo, Harrison?
No, I'll be watching tomorrow. I want to know who's on the show.
Yes, absolutely, man. I see you out there in the chat all the time. I see Harrison as well out there. Thanks to everyone from the Hootie Hoo camp that came over here today, man. Whenever you come in, your people are very loyal. So I agree with you that you spend a lot of time communicating with them because they're very loyal. Lots of them in here. Cool guys. Maybe the next time we'll have you on, we'll just do like an open mic for those guys where they can ask you questions and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Literally after this, I'm going to go make my tonight's video live. You guys are still in the chat.
Oh, yeah. So go over there. Do you do live premieres of your videos, or what do you do?
Every night is a premiere, yeah. Every night.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. I don't know. You know, you got to be strong to keep that going.
I don't sleep, but I make YouTube videos.
Yeah, pretty good. Harrison, did you have something you wanted to add in here?
What I'll just say is everybody get out there, like on the suppressor thing, you know, take the time to write to representatives. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
And try to remain somewhat politically cognizant, but at the same time, don't let it control your life. So try to find that good balance there, because it doesn't do any good to sit there and pay attention to it 12 hours a day. And, you know, 10 to 15 minutes, if that, or 5 minutes once a week is a whole lot better than
nothing. Or driving yourself crazy.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So check out GOA. I threw up the link again, but there is a link inside of the description of this video that you guys could check out. Also, shout out to Gunstreamer. I'm going to remind you guys once again, go check out Gunstreamer. Get up on there. There's lots of guys going up on Gunstreamer. We've got content over there that doesn't exist anywhere else. And then for the people that create content, you know, have your stuff over there just in case anything happens. Gunstreamer will have it for you. They're real easy to communicate with. I think Paul's been in the chat pretty much this whole time. That's it. What's up? What's up? Yes, sir.
So Gunstreamer, say if YouTube disappears, will Gunstreamer still have the copies of those videos, or do they just...
Yeah, they're putting it on their servers, so it's not like a link that they're putting over there. Your videos are actually living on Gunstreamer as well. And every time you put up a video, Gunstreamer pulls it and puts it over there. So
yeah, I got that set up. I wasn't sure about that, so that's all.
Yeah, and then also Gunstreamer has something called Contributus. It does work through PayPal right now, but that's why I was saying that we've got to figure out other systems of banking that are gun-friendly. But basically, Contributus works like Patreon. So people can contribute money to you, and then you can even put some of your videos in a tier if you wanted to, and then the people who are contributing to you would see those videos. So, and they have an iPhone and an Android app as well. So, these are really guys that are coding and doing lots of good things. What they need is they need us as content creators to get over there, and then they need the audience, and then they need the industry to come in and do some advertising. So that's I don't get anything out of doing this other than the peace of mind of knowing that there's a gun streamer there if things go crazy. So that's my reason why I push them as much as I possibly can. So, all right, I think that's it. We'll call it a night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit these guys up on social media if you have any more questions or comments and stuff like that. We'll see you guys. We're out of here.
Thanks, guys.
Peace. See ya.